Keeping ecosystems healthy is key for the future of the planet. Human-caused environmental climate change is posing multiple threats and challenges that can be better understood through comprehensive study. AnaEE-Belgium is a network of unique research facilities that simulate environmental changes' impacts on terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems to develop solutions for safeguarding biodiversity and ecosystem services. Our experimental approach sets us apart, allowing us to simulate a variety of future scenarios, including increased levels of greenhouse gases, climate warming, drought, excess rain, pollution, biological invasions, and more. We cover key ecosystems of the Belgium landscape such as grasslands, croplands, heathlands, orchards, wetlands, and water bodies. At the macro-scale Ecotron of Hasselt University, both wild and agricultural ecosystems can be exposed to highly realistic simulations of future climate change in their full complexity, including increased greenhouse gas concentrations and temperatures, as well as altered wind and precipitation regimes. The Ecotron units include climate-controlled soil lysimeters of 2 meters wide and 1.5 meters deep and above-ground translucent chambers, large enough to accommodate samples of intact ecosystems. The units are equipped with state-of-the-art sensors and monitoring devices, allowing examination of ecosystem responses to climate change in real time. Examples of parameters monitored include greenhouse gas emissions, plant biomass production, soil water potential, and biodiversity. Here, we have examined how pear orchards will function in future climates, or whether heathland ecosystems are resilient to different environmental changes. Next to the large Ecotron units, we are building mobile rapid assessment Ecotrons that will allow fast and targeted experimentation with individual aspects of environmental change, such as nitrogen deposition, droughts, or biodiversity loss, and their impacts on Belgian ecosystems. In our Mycotron experiment next door, we study how different plant-fungal partnerships affect soil health, biodiversity, and nitrogen levels in the soil. Understanding soil biodiversity and the characteristics of the microbial community are important factors for soil health and resilient food production. The Terra Ecotron at the University of Liège is dedicated to research into agro-ecosystems, with a particular focus on how new agroecological practices will be implemented in the climates predicted for the future. The challenge is to adapt agronomic practices so that they can feed a growing population despite global warming, while respecting the environment and reducing their impact on the climate. This Ecotron is unique in that its artificial lighting allows experiments to be carried out all year round, regardless of the climate outside. In the Antwerp Ecotron, we dive into the processes that govern the release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These experiments help us understand how ecosystem management can reduce emissions and increase the storage of carbon in the soil. Promising solutions to make agriculture more climate resilient are tested in collaboration with practitioners. At the University of Antwerp, we use the Free Air Temperature Increase platform, FADI, to explore how societal adaptation, like adjusting farming practices, can help protect grassland and crops against more frequent climate extremes. The system can handle hundreds of individual combinations of species, drought, warming climates, or rainfall regimes. We can also study agricultural management techniques like adding basalt or increasing organic matter in the soil. But climate change doesn't only affect life on land. In a series of artificial ponds and streams at our aquatic mesodrome, different environmental factors can be simulated and studied under semi-natural conditions. We can also manipulate the environment by changing the temperature, currents, water quality, and salinity. In addition, temperature-controlled aquaculture installations allow work with wild or commercial fish species. We have several flumes, 4 or 20 meters long, where fish, plants, and other organisms are challenged with different flow speeds, simulated waves, or dike breaches. Besides studying natural processes under changing environmental conditions, assessment of different types of contaminants, such as chemicals and microplastics, allows us to advise industry and governmental organizations on sustainable water quality criteria and environmental management decisions. The medium-scale semi-natural conditions that can be simulated in the mesodrome are the perfect addition to our lab-based detailed mechanistic studies and our real-life field assessments. Our research provides evidence-based insights that we translate into policy advice and practical recommendations. These can be used and put into practice by industries, farmers, and land managers, and can support policymakers in making efficient and sustainable choices. Join us as we explore these challenges and work towards keeping our ecosystems healthy for future generations.